In this demo, I'm syncing invoices from Stripe into Google Sheets, which I can filter by status. On the right is my Google Sheet that has already been synced to Unito. Unito is an integration platform that allows you to sync data between your tools. First, I'll show you how this integration works, and then I'll show you how to set it up. The first thing I'm going to do is just switch my filter on the left to show you all of my open invoices. Then, in Unito, I'm going to add open invoices to my list of filters, and then apply it to my flow. A flow represents the connection between Stripe and Google Sheets. And here you can see that all of my fields from Stripe have synced into my spreadsheet. So each of these open invoices on the left now appear in my Google Sheet. For the purposes of this demo, I've only included a few fields in the spreadsheet, but you can add as many as Unito supports. Now, I'm going to show you how to set up this integration yourself in just a few minutes. This guide assumes you've already connected Stripe and Google Sheets and are ready to sync your data. If you haven't connected those tools before, there will be links in the description to guides on Unito's Help Center that can help you set up these tools for the first time if you need assistance. You'll need the Google Sheets add-on Unito Spreadsheet Sync in order to sync data in or out of Google Sheets. From the Unito dashboard, click Create Flow to start building your integration. Then, beside Connect Your Tools, select Start Here. You'll be selecting your Stripe account and your Google account, as well as which work item in Stripe you'd like to sync. You can choose between Customer, Subscription, Invoice, Payment, and Dispute. In this case, we'll be syncing invoices. When connecting a new spreadsheet, you have two options. You can either begin typing the name of the sheet, or you can copy-paste the URL into the search bar in Unito. When you see this screen, it will ask you to install the Unito add-on if you've not already done so. The next step is setting a flow direction. In this case, we're telling Unito that new items in Stripe, in this case invoices, will automatically create rows in Google Sheets. Then we'll set rules to filter out Stripe invoices from syncing that don't match our use case. So now I'll select uncollectible and void invoices, so only those types of invoices will appear in my spreadsheet. One last thing I'll do here is remove the creation date filter, which is in every new flow by default. This is a safeguard so you can test your flow before applying it to all historical data. The next step is to choose which fields to sync. We recommend choosing manual mapping. In the next screen, you'll be choosing the fields in Stripe and syncing them with fields in Google Sheets. So here, I'll select account for my Google Sheet and then account name in Stripe. The names of the fields don't need to be identical as long as you can identify which fields you've created in Google Sheets should pair up with similar fields in Stripe. Since the data from those fields will be synced by Unito. If you realize while building your flow that you'd like to change or add or otherwise modify the names of any fields in Google Sheets, you can easily do so, but just make sure to refresh the Unito interface before continuing, or else the new field names won't appear. When you're ready, click Confirm, and then continue to launch your flow. Then we'll watch as the 3 void invoices in Stripe appear in my spreadsheet. And there they are. They synced over before I could even switch to Google Sheet quick enough. Now I'll just set a filter in Stripe so that we can see them a little bit more clearly. And those are the 3 invoices that I've synced into my spreadsheet for this demonstration. And you can see what they look like in Google Sheets here on the right. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our team and let us know. We'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.